This is Paul and Andy's podcast, Grey Matters. My name is Paul Leather, and his name is
Andy Breer. Hello.
And Andy Breer has got a mouthful of... What have you just stuffed in your mouth?
Oh, I've just got some chicken crisps. I've not had chicken crisps for a very long time. Because we just bought some lunch, haven't we?
We have. Well, our top listener, Lee Pell, the Pellies, Lee Pelly, said that she didn't mind us chomping away whilst we were talking. So, it being lunchtime, it seemed a good idea to sort of... Because we often have good conversations and say, we should put that in the podcast and start recording, and we think, what were we talking about? So you've managed to gobble down your lunch, your co-op meal deal straight away.
Well, I had a sandwich, yeah, that was
very good.
That's not like
you could have had more. It was
well,
your turn to pay.
Yeah, I know, but I forgot to take my wallet, didn't I? And that is honest truth.
Well, while I'm munching on my plant-based onion bhaji and mango chutney sandwich, which is on white bread, which is strange. You'd think that would be special sort of healthy bread, wouldn't you? But
yeah.
Maybe it is healthy white bread. I'm going to give this a go. Just tell me, and the listener, why you have got what looks like a plate of spaghetti here, but is in fact a wiring loom from your car.
Oh, right, yeah. This is my... I wanted to install a high-tech screen on my car because my car's quite old, and I wanted to kind of bring it up to the 21st century and have sat-nav on a screen rather than be fiddling around with my phone, which of course is now illegal. They've got cameras to do you for that and all that sort of stuff. So I just thought, well, just have and music and all that sort of stuff. So I was installing the screen on my car, and it wouldn't work. And I thought, I don't know about you, but I always think I've done something wrong.
Oh, yeah.
What have I done wrong? Why won't this work?
I'm an idiot. I can't do the job. Yeah.
Well, it's my default setting, that is, So what have I done wrong? So anyway, I took it all apart again, having done that. And I looked at all the wiring for it. And I thought, well, I can't really see anything wrong. So I decided to get myself one of those multimeter things that you can get for... You've probably got one in your garage. Yeah.
I don't know how to use it, but I've got one.
I know, just by looking at you, you've got one of those. And you see, I could have said to you, Paul, can I borrow your multimeter? And you'd have said, sure, no problem. But I thought, no, it's something that all blokes should have in their arsenal of tools, And so I thought, I'm gonna buy one. So I did.
So you want to fit a screen?
Yeah.
And you want to fit a camera on the back of on the boot as well?
Yeah, a rear reversing camera, although my reversing is pretty good.
It is.
But I'm brilliant at going backwards. Not so great at going forward.
Excuse me while I munch through crisps.
It's fine, don't worry.
Lee, it's salt and vinegar crisps if you're interested.
Very good. So I bought the multimeter and learnt how to use that, and just did a continuity test. But as you say, there are about, 20, 25 different wires in this wiring harness. So I had to test each and every one of them. And I got about halfway through and I found a dodgy connection, which was when two wires go into one. The connection wasn't as good as it could be. So I've redone that. And hopefully it will now work, although I've not tested it yet. So
when's the great testing? When
I don't know. When I get round to it. I'm a busy man.
After lunch?
I don't know.
You are busy, and you also, if you don't mind me saying so, I've known you long enough to say this to you, take it on the chin. You're a bit tetchy.
I'm not tetchy.
Is it because you've been up early?
No, I've always been tetchy. I don't like people. I'll
don't
get
like
tetchy.
people.
Well, that's true. But I don't like people having a go.
Having a go at you, or having a go at things.
Having a go at me. I don't mind them having a go at things at all. But I just don't like that people feel it's necessary to have a go at somebody and just celebrate our differences.
What, you being tetchy and everyone else being all right? You mean?
No, it's just the way I am. I'm not tetchy.
Well, whilst we're having a go at you,
yeah,
we know you don't like it, but never mind.
Okay.
The police can use this tape in evidence.
Okay.
I've noticed that one of your idiosyncrasies is you go
I get that from my dad.
why?
My dad does it.
Did he sigh a lot at you?
Yeah. I think it was at the thought of seeing me, he just goes, oh,
No.
God.
You've got a great relationship with him.
I have, yeah. But no, it's just, I don't know, it's
Just a little thing.
It's just,
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people do that.
Probably at this podcast.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
Oh,
right
God.
now. Just to let you know, sandwich update
Yes.
for Lee. This plant-based onion bhaji and mango chutney sandwich, it's nice. It's got a lot of lettuce and obviously it's got a lot of onion bhaji in it. And I think beetroot because it's gone a bit pink. But it lacks bite. And that's the
Right.
problem I find with quite a lot of vegetarian food.
Well,
lacks,
buy it.
You know, bite, like chicken has got bite.
Yes. Yeah.
This is a complete non sequitur.
So
But
this...
looking into your eyes has made me remember to tell you that in the week that I haven't seen you, I've seen baby pigs being born.
Oh,
Little piglets.
lovely.
It was just amazing.
Aren't they cute when they're born?
Very well. They're just like they're almost like
They look ugly.
they're like jelly beans. They
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
they come.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it? She had 8. The son,
Yeah.
8 little tiny weeny pigs.
Oh.
Amazing. Anyway, I don't know what made me think of that. I think it was an association of food. Bacon, wish I'd had a bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich. Had a bhaji sandwich, and it's not got much bite to it. But go on.
So your vegetarian sandwich would be better if it had meat in, basically. Which it's true of most vegetarian food. I've found over the years.
We're going to inflame any vegetarians out there, but I don't really mind. I because I had eating everyone, but Again, this was up at Pennywell Farm, seeing these lovely little piggies being born, and of course I said, "Well, what will happen to them?" And they're not sold for bacon; they're sold as pets because they're miniature pigs.
Right.
But you do have that dichotomy. Mm-hmm. Could you kill a pig to eat?
I don't know. I never thought about it.
No.
And I don't. I won't have to.
You won't have to think about it.
No, I don't have to do it. So what's the point in the conversation?
Well, you see what I mean, listener?
It's like saying, could you break your own arm? Well, I'd know.
Joking on myself.
But hopefully I'll never have to be in that situation.
No, it is raising the principle of vegetarianism, and in principle, we can all say no. I must eat a plant-based diet, and I'm a vegan. I don't have any problem with that. My brother's been vegetarian for decades, but if you're going to eat bacon, chicken, whatever, could you go and kill it?
Probably not, no. But then, like I say, I don't know is the answer. I've no idea. If I was hungry and it was the last pig on earth and my survival depended on it, yeah, probably I could. But I don't know, and I'm never going to have to, so I don't care.
We don't know. We don't know in life. The way the world is going, it's a funny old world. We might be having to.
Well, we might do. So I might be in that position. I doubt it in my lifetime, but I've wrung a turkey's neck.
Have you?
Yeah.
What? When?
When I was working for,
Bernard Matthews.
No. I used to go out with a girl in my teens. Whose dad was a farmer, and he had a dairy farm, and also in the run-up to Christmas he used to keep turkeys, obviously, as a lot of farmers do. And
so to impress her?
No, I was just giving them a hand to get the turkey orders sorted for Christmas.
They showed you how to do it, presumably.
Yeah, and it was just like, this is what you do, and I thought I was quite interested in it because that's the sort of village I grew up in.
I've never done that.
Yeah, wrung a turkey's neck and then plucked it. Which is a heck of a job. Yeah, but that's what we used to do.
They're ugly creatures.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
see, I don't think people mind hearing about creatures that are ugly.
Well, pigs aren't. Hence the phrase "pig ugly."
Yeah. Well, I think they're prettier than better looking than some of the people I meet.
Well, they can be, yes, but just because something isn't easy on the eye, it's no reason to kill it, is it?
I hope not. Anyway, talking about cars, and I'm having a pause in my sandwich.
Oh, right, okay.
Since I last saw you, it was a lovely day last Tuesday.
It was. It's been nice for a week, a whole week.
I had lunch with a colleague, Stuart.
Yeah.
He paid, which was nice.
Definitely.
I didn't even know he had.
Uh-huh.
And that was lovely by the waterside down in Plymouth. And then having been at the play group, I helped to sort of set them up and get them running, and that's lovely seeing all the kiddies. So then lunch, and then came round for a cup of tea with you, recorded a podcast, and then driving home feeling really kind of content that I'd had a lovely day.
Yeah.
I took a shortcut off the A38, getting back down to Kingsbridge, and I had the sat-nav on for some reason. I think it was to find out what time I would be home, so that to give Helen some idea.
Mm-hmm.
And sat-nav then said, take this road to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think there are demons living in sat-nav. I think something nasty is built into them, because I'll send him up there for a change. He's never been that way. And I went towards this little hamlet called Penquit. It's a lovely name, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit like a Dickens character.
Yes.
Penquit.
Yes.
And I was behind a man in a Tesla driving at about 2 miles an hour, and I thought, this is not going to be a shortcut. This is supposed to take me out somewhere near Modbury, but it's not going to be a shortcut. I looked to turn around, and as I was thinking about doing that, a big Land Rover and a trailer came the other way, and of course Mr. Tesla in front of me had to back up, and it was very imperious, I have to say. Now I'm not going to paint every Tesla driver as difficult or unpleasant, but he was kind of indicating that I had my daughter's Fiesta. Back up in your little Fiesta, man. That's how I took it. That's what I inferred. Anyway. So I went, okay. And I was backing up, and it was on a bend, and I managed to back. It didn't go crunch into a ditch, but I managed to go into the side of the road where my wheels, my two right-hand side wheels, driver's side wheels, were in the ditch. So when everyone had moved around and gone, there I was, unable to get it. Oh, no, I wasn't in the Fiesta, sorry. Strike that from the record. I was in the new car, so front-wheel drive, new car, camera on the back of it, all the gadgets, but you're putting a camera on your car, it won't make you drive better, because it didn't make me drive better, so I'm stuck in Penquit at 6 in the evening, sun going down, phone up the Auto Aid, who are like the RAC. I've been quite pleased with them so far, so we've stuck with them, and after about endless sort of discussions about where I was, I said, I've got 3 words? Well, I've got 3 words now for the service, but I won't go into that. So they established where I am, and then she said, so who's involved in the accident? And I said, there was no accident. I drove reversed into a ditch trying to let somebody through. And she said, well, have you damaged your car? And I said, well, I don't know yet, because it's in the ditch. Yeah. It doesn't look damaged. It's just it's spinning, and I can't do anything. There's no perch.
And did she say that? She said, "He's still breathing."
There's an exclusion. And I said, "Is there?" And she said, "We can come and help you, but you'll have to pay."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, how much?" She said, £280.
You're kidding?
£280. I said, "That's what I said." I didn't say you're kidding. I said, "Thank you," and I rung off, making a note that I probably would either check my policy or change it. Anyway. As you know, I am a man of faith, and the first emergency service should really be God. Pray. But it wasn't. I found Auto Aid first. So I prayed. I went, oh God, how am I going to get out of this? Please help. Well, and the guy went past and sort of looked and drove past. But it's a very small, empty lane. And I thought, what I need is a farm or a rugby team on tour or something like that. And this little silver car arrived within about 2 minutes, and a lovely, charming Devon couple inside. Hello, my dear, are you all right there? Have you got a problem? And I said, yeah, I'm stuck in the deal. Well, I wonder what we can do to help. And I said, well, I don't think you can do anything to help, really. I need some burly fireman or something, or a tug-of-war team. And she said, I think we might be able to. We live just up the hill there, next to the farm, and we know the farmer, and he'll help you. If you get in, we'll take you up there. And I just looked, and I went. I felt about 12 years old. Yeah. I put my thumb in my mouth. And stuck my mouth. I went, oh, thank you very much. It's just so lovely of you. And they turned around, 3/4 of a mile up the lane, dropped me off at the farm. He came out, been milking his cows, and he said, oh yeah. "Yeah, we dug that ditch out just last week." And I thought to myself,
Well,
"Well, you can come and
then.
dig me out then." Anyway, I'll be down in a minute. So came down in his Manitou, which is one of those forklift tractory type things. I thought he was going to put the forklift under him. I thought, don't do that.
No.
Helen will never forgive me. So he comes down, we find the tow eye, he tows me up, job done, great, I'm on my way, car's not damaged. It was like, wow, thank you, Lord, that is just wonderful. So I said to Helen when I got home, I must take a box of chocolates or something for the farmer, and especially for the lovely couple that stopped.
Yeah.
And bought 2 really nice boxes of chocolates, not £100 worth of chocolates because, that's ridiculous, but 2 nice ones. Go up to the farmer on Friday evening and find him. I say, I don't know if you remember me. And he looks like farmers do. I don't remember anybody, I only remember my cows.
Yeah.
So I said, there's some chocolates for you for pulling me out of the ditch. And he got his big farmer's hands and he took the chocolates like he'd never seen chocolates before. And he said, that's very kind of you, thank you. And I said, the people, the old couple that brought me up here, they live up the road. He said, well, I know who you mean, but they don't really live there. That's their daughter and son who used to run the Shire Horse Centre. Gave me chapter and verse and who was who. Gave me their names. I said, thank you very much. Drove up the road and knocked the door. This very nice house. Lady came, all rosy. She said, oh, hello. I said to her, I think it must be your mum and dad, and read their names off the little bit of crib sheet that I've got. And you must be, and that was your husband, Steve, was it? And 2 little, your daughters. I said to your mum and dad, so kindly stopped on Tuesday and got me out of a real pickle. I've got some chocolates for them. And she said, oh, that's one. I said, the thing is, I said, I can't help but share my faith, Andy. And I just said, I just literally said a prayer, please help me out of this hole. And 2 minutes later, your mum and dad arrived. She said, oh, well, they're Christians. They're Roman Catholics. And so are we. We're all Christians. And I went, well, that's amazing. Not only did God send an angel, as far as I was concerned, to help me out, but they happened to share my faith as well. It was just a lovely, lovely story.
Oh, that is a really, really great story, and I'm glad you were all right and the car was okay. There's a few things about that story that were running through my mind as you were telling it.
Yeah.
The first one was going to be the farmer turning around to you afterwards and saying, there you go, boy, that's 300 quid. I'll take cash. And then the other one was when you went to take the chocolates to the farmer, and the farmer, and he said, well, it's very kind of you, and you said, I don't know, there was a couple that said they lived next door to you that helped me to begin with. Who are they? And he said, oh, there was a couple that used to live next door, but they're long gone. And I thought that would make a really good sort of mysterious story, that you were helped by spirits or angels in some way. And the other thing about your story that reminded me about something was, I agree with you about the Tesla driver thing. And I was following a Tesla the other day and thinking, oh God, here we go, Tesla drivers. And they've become the new BMW drivers in my book. Anyway,
that's harsh.
I know it's harsh, but it's true.
And you do drive a BMW.
I know, so I'm trying to defer this sort of blame onto other drivers. And it was really funny, actually, because there was a Tesla at the junction, and I pulled up behind it, and then I saw a sticker in the back windscreen that said, I'm sorry, I bought this before I realised he was a tosser.
That's a sticker, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. Because Tesla sales have bombed, I understand.
They have, yeah.
Pressed to be believed.
Since he got involved in they reckon it's because since he, got involved in American politics and, became so associated with Trump. But there is that.
With who, sorry?
The guy, that big bloke.
The orange man.
Yeah, the orange man.
We're not to be political about this. It might upset some Americans. In
yes,
fact,
I know.
But you know what? I think it's upsetting fewer of them because the way I read it at the moment on social, and I know we only get fed what we want to read. That's how it all works. The algorithms and all that. But everywhere seems to be now tipped towards we're ashamed, we don't like it, we're concerned. There's still a voice. There's still a strong voice saying, he's sorting the world out, he's making America great again.
Yeah.
And then people are going, oh, actually, I don't think he is making it very good because nobody wants to speak to us anymore and no one's inviting us to any of those parties.
Yeah, and this is for a future podcast as well that I want to talk to you about or ask you or find your views about is with the rise in AI and AI applications, are we as human beings becoming more redundant? I don't mean in terms of work, I mean in thought and opinion.
Well, listener, wait for the next exciting episode when we will discuss that very, very thing, because AI, I mean, some of the images, and I think we've probably all seen in the last week that meme of Trump being knocked out. I mean, I don't know how on earth somebody does that. How do you do that? And if you are doing that, it looks so real that some people would believe that happened. And before you know it, they'll be reporting, well, Zelensky shouldn't have hit him.
If they're not already, what else has gone under the radar that we don't know about that has been digitally manipulated in some way, some pictures of something or whatever that has gone undetected.
But there'll come a time when they won't even believe something as innocent as this podcast. They'll think that we are computer-generated AI voices that are just talking.
No, that's artificial stupidity. That's something completely different.